Hi everyone, Toni here from Scrap Crazy with Toni, bringing you another project from the Twitchit craft kits. I am doing a plant lady project today with this is my leftovers. This is all I've got left. So I've done loads of cards and I've done some layouts. I've done a box album, and yesterday while making this project I actually had a bit of an idea that how cool would it be if I could stand this up like this, but like have a solid wall there and actually be able to put and store stuff in. And then my other idea is that I've had for quite a while is I actually want to create some of these 3x4 journaling tags into tags like this. So I thought, how cool would it be to be able to incorporate that idea, sorry, bless me, that idea into one project. Now this is literally all I have left of this kit. I have been just loving this kit. I have done so many projects and this is all I've got left. So I've done a few cards. So there's some scrap cards that I whipped up. Literally took me like 3 minutes the other day. Some really fun cards. This one here, I actually used a template from Kiwi Lane. Some more cards, that one using the stencils that come with the kit, and I've made a few layouts, and I also made a box pull-out album as well. So today is just a very simple project, but I thought I'd share it with you and make it along with you. And we're going to use up pretty much all of these scraps. Whatever I've got left, I'm going to try and use majority of them. And what I don't, I'm sure I will come back and share with you what we don't use. So to start off with, I've sat down and figured out my measurements first because I wanted to get this right for you guys. So we need to start with a 9 3/4 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock. So this is just A4 cardstock. I've picked this up from the newsagent. So we're starting with, so this way we need 5.5. So we're going to start at 5.5 this way, and then we need 9 3/4 long ways. Okay, so then we're done with the cutter just for now, and of course, like a nice tidy desk, I'm going to put that aside. Next is to pull out your scoreboard, and I'm going to make, my center is actually going to be about a 3-inch box because I would like to put this on the backboard at the back, and this is 3 inches. So I'd like to use that. I'm going to use that as the base for my measurements. So to use a 3-inch box, I need to go, and with a little bit of leeway either side, I want to make it about 1 1/4 for the thickness of the box. So we're going to start at 1 1/4. So let's score on this long ways, 1 1/4, and then our 3 inches for the box, which will be 4 1/4. We then want to go 1 1/4 again, so that's 5.5, and then we need to go our 3 inches again, so that is 8.5, and our last flat left over will be 1 1/4, and that finishes where our cut is at 9 3/4. On the short side, we want to score pretty much the same, but we're doing so 1 1/4, and then our 3 inches, so that will be 4 1/4, and then our last flat left over is 1 1/4, so that finishes us at our 5.5 cut line. Now that's how easy it is to score that. So again, we're scoring at 1 1/4, 4 1/4, 5.5, 8.5, and then we've got our cut line. This side is 1 1/4, 4 1/4, and our cut side. That's how really simple and easy that is. Okay, so then we're going to start cutting up our box. So like every flap needs to be cut. Every single one of these needs to be cut. I'm just doing a little bit of a diagonal there. Now only on the sides, so do not cut any of the long score marks, only the short bits on the side. So we will cut a long one in a moment, but not just yet. We want to get all of these cut first. Okay, so this last bit is where we're going to cut the square off. Okay, and that's, so this is going to be the top and the bottom of our box. Just clear our table away, our space, and keep it nice and clean. Now, I'm going to decide right now which is going to be the top and the bottom. I think I'm going to make this the top. So this is going to be my top, and that is where I'm going to cut my circle. So if you have a big shot, grab out your big shot or your Cricut or, you know, your Cuttlebug, anything like that. Grab that out and use it to with your metal circle die and just cut that out. You can also grab anything that will fit inside that circle. So if you don't have cutters, just grab out some, you know, anything, any sort of roll, and just draw a circle in there and try and cut that out. I'm going to use my circle cutter that I picked up from one of the local shops. Measure that in at 6 centimeters, and that should be right. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so yeah. Now again, if everything's not perfectly centered, you are more than welcome to measure this and measure that it is the correct measurement. Please do. If you, oh, that just slipped on me. If you feel that you need to do that, please do that. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so measure in. So you'll be trying to find the center, which will be about 1.5 all the way through. I'm just eyeballing it because we've all gotten used to my lazy scrapping by now, and my style is just wing it, eyeball it, wing it, and figure it out. Now, because I've actually used, this is a really hard paper that I've used, I was going to try and cut the rest out with a blade, but I might just go over again. I'll flip it over and just go over my circle again. That's a little tip, I suppose. You can flip it over, go over if it doesn't cut out right the first time. No, they're perfect. There we go. I'm actually really happy with that. Yep, that's cool. Okay. So we're going to set that aside. Now, safety reasons, I am going to take a moment to lock that back into place and put that away. All right, so now we get to stick everything together. We're going to form our box. We get to fold and score our box. So Merry Christmas also, by the way. Today is actually Christmas Day here in Australia, so Merry Christmas. Thank you very much for joining me, whether you're watching this today on Christmas Day or at a later stage. I still very much thank you for dropping by. Okay, so that's our box. That's how how we're going to stick them together. So I'm going to grab some double-sided tape and the glue and stick them together there. I might put it, no, I think it does need to go that way, doesn't it? Okay. Now I do know and understand that some people don't like or aren't comfortable with my style of eyeball it and wing it, and that is totally okay. You are welcome to take every precaution of measurement that you would like. My style is not for everyone, and neither is everyone else's style for me. So please feel free to take any extra steps that you wish to take to make sure that any of my projects that I hop on and sort of have fun creating with you, that you do it your way and know that that is perfectly fine to do. I just love to sort of be creative and share what I make, and if I can help a couple of people along the way with a few measurements or different techniques or design ideas, then that is fabulous in my opinion. Also, some people don't like the way that, or don't agree the way that I glue and stick things together. Again, do what fits you, and that is fine and dandy by me. I'm just thinking if I want to double it up, or if I put that one down first, and then I think that's what we might actually do. So I'm going to stick that one in first, because then it gives me a nice clean edge on the middle as well. Now I double up my glue and my tape because here in Central Queensland it can get quite hot and humid, and projects can fall apart pretty easily, unfortunately. So for the longevity of my projects, I do like to double up when I can. There we go. And that leaves us with a nice clean edge on the inside then as well, just in case there's anyone fussy that really wants to have a good look inside. I can see it's a nice clean edge in there. So I'm going to do the same now for this side. As per normal with the projects that I do share online, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, I do like to try and keep them fairly short, so I'm not taking up too much of your time, and hopefully you can get creative as well. I know that some people like to actually watch the videos first and then save it and come back and make the projects later. So to be able to do that, for the best time management, it does need to be kept fairly short. And I want to make sure that everyone knows that no matter what level you are, whether you're a beginner, then you're capable of making projects like this. Or if you're an advanced, you can put your own spin on things and, you know, really go wild and take it to your own level. So I've got my offcut of that card there, and I'm going to, so it's actually the same measurement as the box, which I'm absolutely loving, and I'm going to measure about 4 inches up, and it's going to sit roughly about there, because I want to be able to put that on, remember? So let's just, instead of just guessing about 4 inches, let's actually double check that that's going to be the right measurement. Okay. And lucky I have checked, because you know what? We actually need it to sit Where am I gonna, we're probably gonna need it to be just under the 5 inches, so we really need it to be about 4 3/4 really. So lucky that I didn't just assume then, and I did jump on and check that measurement. Because that would have been a little bit awkward then, wouldn't it? Alright, so we're going to attach that to the background there. It's going to sit on there like that. Yeah, that's cool. I'm really, really happy with that. I think that is adorable. Okay, just taking the time to clean up the double-sided tape off cuts or off scraps. Okay, we might try and colour some of this. So to match in with that blue there, I'm going to colour my box with some blue. I don't think I will do anything with the circle because I'm going to leave that plain, but we will need ink. We will need to ink things. So let's get on to the inking. I've just got a sky blue ink, which is just a nice light blue that coordinates with the papers that I'm using. You're welcome to use any sort of coordinating ink that works for you. Of course, when you are inking edges of paper and projects, you do not use the same ink that you use to stamp with, as it creates holes and rips in your ink pad and they're no longer any good for stamping. Okay. Now really, you could probably actually leave the box without the paper on it, because that's, I really heavily inked that and it's quite effective, but I am going to decorate it because I've got all this paper to use and I want to be able to use it. So what have we got? We've got 3 inches by 1 1/4, don't we? Always double checking. Yep, 3 inches by 1 1/4. Always good to double check, otherwise you end up like I did before with wrong measurements. So what is this one at? So that's at 4. So let's go 3 inches just under. So we want to go just under. So really you want to do like, oh, what have we got? Like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. You really want to do like a 7/8 sort of thing, just under that 3. So 2 7/8, and then do the same with the 1/4. So you're doing like 1/8 instead of 1/4. You're doing about 1/8. And let's just make sure that yes, it does. Okay, just making sure that that actually fits before I go ahead and cut more. So we only need 3 of these, remember, because the back side, there we go. So we only need 3 of these on the sides because the back is going to be covered with something else. Again, we're going to ink that up. Flip them over, double side tape, a bit of glue. Now for those playing along at home that know about my nails, I do like to get the shellac powder put over the top of my nails, as I am a nail biter. However, that then means that my nails are quite thick. They are my nails. They are actually my nails. This one did rip off a few weeks ago, and then I had them all done pretty in my Christmas colours, and I ripped it off again like last weekend. So I use the pick to pick the double-sided tape off the paper, as my thick nails just won't, they're just not thin enough to pick it up. It might be a bit tricky for some, but once you sort of get used to it, it can be quite easy and quite fast. Now I know other people use some really fine tweezers to pick them up. When they've got nails, they use like a fine tweezer to pick up the tape. Everything is by your own preference. There is no right or wrong in crafting, scrapbooking, card making. Just do what suits you and what you find works best for you. It's always good to ask questions, which of course you're always more than welcome to message me and get in contact if you do have any questions. Now for the backboard of this piece, I'm not sure if I've got enough. Now I do if I go that way, and you know what, I'm going to, because this is probably going to be one of the last projects that I make. I am actually okay and comfortable with using that. So we were 3 inches, so I'm going to be just under the 3 again by 4 3/4, so just under the 4 3/4. So let's cut off the 3 inches to start with. Now this is the B side. How awesome sorry, how awesome are these really cool quote sayings. So I've used these on quite a few of my other projects that I've made for this range. Advice from a cactus: get plenty of sunshine, conserve your resources, and stay sharp. Sorry, I can't, my plants need me. Summer is coming, I'm so excited, I wet my plants. Life is short, buy all the plants. So it's a nice fun little quotes there. So again, we're going just short of that 4 3/4, and this is just short of the 3 inches. And it's going to line up, so I might have to actually take just a smidgen more off that top side to give it a fairly even mat around. Yep, there we go. Again, take time to clean up your desk when you need to. Some people just keep going and just pile it all and they don't worry about it till the end. Of course, again, that is totally fine. I like to try and keep a nice and clean, tidy desk. That way I'm not looking for anything. I know where everything is. And you'll see in my videos that I generally have things specifically in certain spots on my desk. That way I'm trying not to look for things too much. I know exactly where my pick will be. I know where my scissors will be. I know where the tape is. I know where the glue is, all that sort of stuff. And I like to try and keep my ink up there as well. I find it just helps me to stay organized and get the best use of my time when I'm crafting. There we go, eyeballing that mat. It looks pretty good. And I'm going to stick that on the back here like this. So instead of trying to guess, like I usually would, instead of trying to guess how much 1 1/4 inches is there, I'm actually going to use the box itself. So for Christmas morning, I treated myself to a rewatch of the Game of Thrones. Yes, I'm the type of person that will rewatch some of my favorite TV series over and over and over and over and over again. I think I've seen every episode of Grey's Anatomy probably 7 or 8 or more times, as I do restart it almost every year and watch it through. Same as same as Gilmore Girls. I tend to rewatch over and over again. And there's always things that I miss. There's always things that I've forgotten. I go, oh, I forgot that happened. You know. And at different stages of life also, you connect with different characters differently, and you understand their journeys a little bit different. Okay, so bloom where you are planted. That is, I really love that quote. I think it's a really special quote, and it's a very important one. I'm actually going to 3D foam that up. Grab out my scissors that I use only for foam. Now, you are welcome to use any sort of 3D effect adhesive that you want to use. Now, I'm not throwing too much on there, but just enough to keep it. Now, of course, you are welcome to go edge to edge and cover the whole thing if you'd like. It's all about your own preference and how you scrap, or how you make card make, how you paper craft, all that sort of stuff. Okay, there we go. Now, I do have to say, it does look a little bit like a toilet, so don't be discouraged. That is like absolutely adorable. I think that is the cutest thing. Now, if you wanted to, you could, you know, score that, bend it over, and it can be a closed flap. However, I'm going to leave that there now, and we're going to get started in some tags. I've actually got a template here already done, and I'm going to use this. I'm just freehanding very quickly, just cutting out tags. Now, I know some people might be going, what? Wait, stop, don't do that. I'm a lazy scrapper. This is what and how I do it. Of course, I'll try and make it a little bit prettier, but that's it. Be kind. How beautiful is that quote, that message? Now, of course, when I was first starting to play with this kit, I would have been very careful not to just start hacking things up like this, knowing that I had so many projects ahead of me. But with so many cards done, so many layouts done, and even an album in a box, I'm now at a point where hacking up my scraps, I'm actually okay with. I don't mind hacking up the scraps that I have left. So I do like to keep all of my scraps in a cute little tray like this. It just helps me stay organized. And you may notice that not all of these tags are going to be fully symmetrical or you know, centered or anything like that. I'm just going for where the design is. So this is actually, even though it looks like it's wrong, it's really not. Once you throw a hole in here, you can write on here, and that's your tag done. I will survive. You won't survive if you're a plant in my house, I can tell you that. However, my mother is very good at all this sort of stuff, and she is the gardener in the family. I don't even like going outside to the garden, let alone bothering with plants and things like that. I do have a fairy garden though. I do quite like my fairy garden. It's probably not maintained and well kept as it should be, but I do go out there a couple times a year and try and tidy it up. It's just not enough, obviously. All right, final one, I think. hopefully that's got, well, I can't see any of the words, so I'm guessing that it's all covered. Put it that way. There we go. Yep, got all the words. So I actually wanted to keep some of the top details in here. I just think they're cute, and it just adds that extra little element on something that might be left plain and boring. Next, just grab out your hole punch. I'm going to use my crocodile. I should be able to fit a few of these in at the same time with the crocodile. I don't know. I haven't had the crocodile for that long, so it could be a huge mistake. No, there we go. Just punch through all them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was 5 tags just then, and punched through that like butter. That was incredible. Okay, so they're all going to sit in there. I'm going to add some cute little twine to that. Alright, so we've got some jute twine here. I should probably ink all of the edges, shouldn't I? To keep in with the project look. So on the back of, that's the B side of the tags, which is really cute as well. You know, if you didn't want to use the front of the tag, just throw it on the back. Okay, so what do we say? 5 tags. I'll cut up 5 pieces of jute twine here. 4, 5. And of course, I'm going to put my twine away so it's not sitting all over my desk. I'm going to do the cheetahs. Oh, if I can. I was going to say I'm going to do the cheating way of adding the twine. So that's just folding it in half, giving it a nice crisp edge so I can thread it through that hole. Now of course things like this are so much easier when you don't have the long thick nails in the way. Looping the ends through and then pulling it taut. There we go. So that is another project done. I've used up a few of those scraps, or at least I've used up the bulk lot of the scraps. So again, there is still some scraps left over here. I'm not sure what I'm going to actually end up doing with them. And there is that large piece that I've still got left as well. I'm sure I'll be able to come up with a couple more designs, or at least one more design to share with you before I'm finished this kit. But for now, that's it. I'm actually really happy with that. So I've got the back on there as well. I think that's really cute. I've got my 5 little tags that can just sit there, that can be added to any little, you know, if you want to gift some seeds or gift a little plant or a stand or anything like that, done. So again, this is Toni from Scrap Crazy with Toni, bringing you a project from Twitchit Craft Kits with the Plant Lady kit. Thank you very much for joining me today. Merry Christmas to everyone around the world. If anyone is traveling, I wish you a very safe travel and reaching your destination with loved ones. So thank you very much for joining me today. Merry Christmas and goodbye for now.